the cup record under Solskjaer. And there's a lot of familiarity to it. Like, you get to the quarters, you get to the semis in all these different competitions, and yet you get eliminated, Don. Obviously, you take a look at some of the quality of their opponents. They are stronger than Manchester United. But on other occasions, you'd expect United to go through. And this is obviously a theme that they're going to want to change very quickly. But it's difficult to change when you've got your manager coming out and saying these sort of things.
Yeah, everything's a culture and everything's a habit. And the boys are right. When you're winning, winning's a habit. When you're losing, that can become a habit as well. And Stevie hit the nail on the head, really, when he's talking about, you know, players and teams and managers that'll do anything to win a game. Sergio Ramos is probably not really loved in the football world. I don't know why, because I love him. But I understand why fans have this little gripe against him. And maybe it's just Liverpool fans for what he done to Mo Salah. But you talk about a player that will do anything to win a title and win a trophy and win the very big ones consistently. That's the kind of players you need in your team. I don't think Ole's got enough of them just yet. I think he's doing a decent job. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's all bad for Man United. It is when you look at that record, of course. He needs to go over the line and win some trophies. Titles are going to be difficult. When he's coming up against Jurgen Klopp and Guardiola and the quality that they've got in terms of their knowledge and what they've got in the bank and the playing style that they try and play, United are way behind those two. But they can certainly compete in Europe. They have to win the Europa League this season. They have to come away with a trophy. Otherwise, it's a failure.
You know the best managers? None of them were ever looked upon as Mr. Nice Guy. Every single one of them would cut your throat, shove you off the boss, do anything at all to make sure that the team won. And if you weren't going to be part of that, he would get you out the door as soon as look at you. You don't get that impression with Ole. I don't get the impression that players are walking around the dressing room when he comes in and perking their ears up, saying, hold on a minute, the boss is here.
Right.
It seems everything seems a little too soft. And when things get hard, that softness comes through. And that seems to be what happens. You just showed a graph there of them losing.
Yeah, and that takes us back then to the PE teacher label.
Well, I don't take your statement and take it from there, because I have to defend him a bit, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is now second in the league. There are a lot of managers on that league table will be desperate to have that position now coming into the end of the season. They had a very good run.
Is that Ole I can hear talking there? You sound like Ole.
No, but Stevie,
but that's the thing though, Jan. He's turning being second into give me a pat on the back. This team's doing fantastic. This team is second. How great are we? But it's okay to get knocked out of the cups.
So the fantastic Arteta will take Arsenal for 10th to 9th. The fantastic Mourinho will take Tottenham into being in the Champions League and be happy to be in Europe, and so on and so on. We can go on for that. I don't have this PE teacher kind of stuff. I think that is ridiculous because you have to have a way of doing it. You have to have a way of doing it in the media. Well, have a look at that Premier League table and take all the managers just doing cliches for the Premier League for TV, and pundits like ourselves will say, oh yeah, he's a good guy because he throw them under the bus. Oh, he's a tough manager. But hey, he doesn't win football games. So I don't have that. I think that is too easy to have that discussion on that terms of the PE teacher thing.
If you think of someone like Carlo Ancelotti, you can't imagine him being the sort of person that, as you say, was going to shout at people or make them... You always think them as a good man manager. Zinedine Zidane as well, who's had so much success at Real Madrid. So it's just that things have evolved, they've moved on, that you don't necessarily need to have that sort of attitude all the time to get success?
I think there has to be some sort of attitude like that. You know, would Ole... Do you think Ole would put somebody on and then 10 minutes later take him off? I don't think he would. You know, the manager who's doing things not for the names on the back of the jersey, but for the club and the fans, will do anything and make any decision, not because it's going to upset the player, but because it's the right thing to do. I don't think Ole would do that. If he sat there and put a player on and 10 minutes later thought, you know what, this might cost us a goal, I don't think he would take game day off. I don't think he'd do it.
So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will win the Europa League. He will be second in the Premier League, and he knocked out in the FA Cup in the quarterfinal. Then we will see it's an okay season for them. We can discuss this from from all the way from A to Z, that Ole Gunnar knows that it's all about winning titles for Manchester United, or he will be fired. Mind you, he'll be fired. A football coach and a politician, they will always be fired at the end. We don't have to be afraid of that. But the thing, I'm not having this kind of thing that you have to shout at them. And Dan made a very good point. Zinedine Zidane won the Champions League 3 times. And I tried to interview him. Dan, you've probably done that the same. It's not possible. He doesn't speak to you. It's not like he comes into the dressing room throwing around bottles and glasses. And Jurgen Klopp, should we have a go at him because he's hugging the players? So when they're losing and they can't win at Anfield, is that because he can't hug them anymore? I think that is too easy discussion. Let's discuss the fact, and let's see. And at the end of the season, then who has got success? And at the bottom of the table, we have Big Sam. So Big Sam is a great manager then because he shouts a lot. No, I'm not having that one.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.